Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back to another Hard Review, and I am here to talk about Alien Romulus. This is the latest installment in the Alien franchise, which is a franchise that I hold very near and dear to my heart. My dad showed me the first Alien movie when I was 10 years old, and it scared the crap out of me. I really liked Aliens a lot more because it was more of a blockbuster, fun action movie compared to the first one, but still, the Xenomorph is like one of my most all-time scary creature, villain, anything in any movie ever. I'll never forget going to Halloween Horror Nights a few years ago when they had Alien versus Predator. And you know how like every third person gets the scare? You know, it's not like every single person in the row gets the specific scare. Well, I specifically got a Xenomorph scare like right in my face, and I was literally like frozen with fear. I was literally stunned. So this is a character that I really hold near and dear to my heart. Alien 3 starts off awful and then kind of gets progressively better throughout. Alien Resurrection is one that I have a lot of fun with. It's not really good in any way, but I see it as a fun like B movie. Alien versus Predator is a great setting and a great concept, but really poor execution and really awful direction and writing. AVP Requiem, every problem I had with the first one is so much worse. We don't even have the cool pyramid here, and the ending is ridiculous, and that's my favorite part. Prometheus is one that I really enjoy. I really think that the epicness, the grandeur of it, especially when it comes to the themes, I think is a breath of fresh air for this franchise. And then Alien Covenant was an awesome continuation of the Prometheus story because the David character is my favorite in the entire series, save Ripley. So when they announced Alien Romulus, I was excited because, hey, it's another Alien movie, and I was also excited because Fede Alvarez, who did the remake of The Evil Dead, and he also did Don't Breathe. These are two very fun, crowd-pleasing, like, gross-out horror movies. Especially with Evil Dead, I know that he can take over a franchise, put his own spin on it, and modernize it in a way that still pays homage to the original, but still gives us something that feels new and fresh. But I was really upset because I really wanted to see where the David storyline was going, and I knew this wasn't going to be that because we knew it was going to take place between Alien and Aliens. The movie stars Kaylee Spani, who also starred in the Priscilla movie, which I'm not crazy about, but she's very good in it. But my standout here is David Johnson, or it might be Johnson, I don't know, but he was in Rye Lane, which is also a very cute little movie, and he's great here. He plays the android robot of the crew. Every time his face was on screen, he just looked like he was on the verge of tears throughout. It was just the most interesting character. I mean, that's usually the case in these Alien movies, is that the robot is the most interesting part of them, obviously David. But I really enjoyed his relationship with Kaylee Spani, how it impacted their relationship that she was human and he was a robot, and their family. It's not like a romantic relationship at all. Like, she calls him brother throughout. One of my favorite things about this movie is the production design. All of the sets look really gorgeous and beautiful, as well as the special effects in the movie. There's clearly a lot of like practical aliens in the movie, practical xenomorphs, practical face huggers, and still even the special effects shots of space and the spaceship and everything, like even when the alien is CG, it still looks very good. I was kind of surprised by how little aliens we got in this movie. I guess I haven't watched one of the original 4 Alien movies in a while, because in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, we don't really get like a surplus of alien activity going on. So I was like, oh, well, we're going back to Alien, you know, it's gonna be much more in line with Alien and Alien, so we're gonna get a lot more aliens throughout this. It was much more small scale. One of my biggest complaints going into this movie is what's new, what's fresh, what are we gonna see for the first time? It just looks like another Alien movie. And there's some cool set pieces that I thought were really interesting, some cool concepts, and it's clear that these characters are a little bit more knowledgeable about the concept that we're dealing with here. Therefore, we're able to have different experiences with similar situations. I'm trying not to spoil anything. Really, where my biggest complaints about this movie come from are where I'm just a fan of it. So I'm a fan of the franchise, I'm a fan of this story and this character, so some things bothered me a little bit. There's 2 fan servicey moments in particular, a quote and a character that I was like, yep, didn't really need that. The character, they do the CGI thing because they obviously couldn't get the performer to come back to play that role. I'm really trying to be vague, but I've never enjoyed that, especially like Rogue One and shit like that. Anytime that they CGI a former actor or actress, I just think it looks like garbage. I think the only times where I really enjoyed it was Blade Runner 2049, but just have another actor, or really it didn't even need to be that same type of character. You could have just done a different actor or actress. I don't really know why we needed it to be that person. It just takes you out of the movie. And then there was a quote from one of the other movies that happened, and I was like, well, that makes no sense, because first of all, it's pandering, and like as a fan, I'm a fan of the franchise. I'm wearing a fucking hat. Like, I have merch, I care, I've seen all these movies. So if you're doing it for me, don't. I'm sure that there's other fans out there that are like, I remember that, they said that in the other movie. And that's great. If that's what does it for you, if that's what gets you going, great. I'm sure that they can go stand right up in front of the screen and go, game over, man, game over. And you'd be like, yes, great movie, wonderful movie. But no, just saying popular lines from the original is not enough for me to be like, wow, yay. Also, the character saying the line, saying that specific line, and specifically a specific word in that quote is like, well, no, they wouldn't do that. And I don't really think they can or have ever done that. And so it's like really weird that you would have them do that. Not only is it not cool from a fan service perspective, but it's also not cool from like a logistical, like real world perspective. It really doesn't even do anything for me in the moment. Like, forget everything else. Let's say you've never seen an Alien movie, you say that clip happened, you'd be like, why'd they say that? Why do they have to say it? And why do they say it like that? You know? So it just doesn't work at all for me. One of the strengths of the film, which I also think is one of the weaknesses of the film, is that it kind of feels like an amalgamation of the entire Alien franchise. That's good, and that like, hey, it feels like it's paying homage to everything, you know? If you're a fan of Alien or Aliens, you're gonna get a little of that. If you're a fan of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, you're gonna get a little of that. If you're a fan of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, you're gonna get a little of that. Which it's like, oh, you don't really need to pay homage to everything. But also, these are kind of different genres of movie. I mean, they're all science fiction, horror, I understand that, but they're all different types of movies with different goals. Alien is a haunted house movie in space. It's a slasher movie in space. You know, there's one killer, it's coming after everybody. It's a small, contained, horror-focused science fiction film, right? Whereas Aliens is more bombastic action blockbuster while also still being science fiction and horror, but it's not really trying to do the same thing. It's like 20 minutes longer, it's more epic, there's a lot more going on, it's a lot lighter, there's like jokes in the movie. And then Alien 3, we kind of go back to square one with Alien, but it's somehow darker and grimier. And then Alien Resurrection, we're kind of doing the Aliens thing, but even pulpier, like too much pulp, like, can we get some orange juice? This is just pulp. And then Prometheus and Alien Covenant are, you know, these very heady, thematic, heavy movies. Not that there's a lot of themes in the first four, so let's be honest, the first two Alien movies. These are like, hey, this is about something, you know? And it's much more about the ideas that we're exploring more so than the aliens that we're encountering. Instead of being like a focused film, it feels like it's a little part of everything, you know what I mean? Instead of getting like one focused thing, we're getting an amalgamation of like it feels so focus groupy, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, we want to make everyone happy instead of just like focusing in and making it great in its purest form. It feels like we're trying to do too much, and not in an ambitious way, and like, we're trying to please everybody. You're all happy with me, right? But still, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a really great time. If you judge it just as like a straight up horror science fiction movie, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. I think it's really good. I'd probably love it even more if I wasn't an Alien fan, but as an Alien fan, I was like, there's little things that I don't like here and there, and it does feel like very familiar territory still, but hey, great special effects, great design of this movie. It's wonderful looking. Watching the Dolby, it's loud, it's tense, it's scary, it's fun. I really had a great time watching this movie. 4 out of 5. Go check it out at your local Cineplex. You don't need to see anything else. I'm sick of that. Oh, man, you gotta do your homework. What? No, you could watch this and be fine. Like, yeah, you should probably watch Alien. Actually, you really don't even need to watch Aliens. Probably should watch Prometheus. But no, go watch it. Have fun. Go pay money to see this movie so that Ridley Scott comes back and finishes his David storyline. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Like, comment, subscribe, and why don't you guys tell me what your favorite Alien movie is? I know that Alien is the best one. My personal favorite is Aliens. Just more my type of movie.